These talks are interesting because it helps me provide an insight to what the newer generation is thinking, how you ask your questions. So don't be shy about asking any questions. There's nothing that's really off limits. What you commit to paper and what is reality and what's eventuality will always change along the way. So it really is important that you allow yourself that flexibility to adapt and make changes. Because a lot of times, especially when we're younger, we're so adamant. I mean, it was the same of me when we first started, My ideal situation was this, and sometimes if you're very lucky, that ideal situation works. And I've learned later on, sometimes that ideal situation doesn't work. You need to adapt accordingly to environment. Whatever you guys embark on, whether it's your own business or whether it's a job, your happiness is honestly well within your hands. You just need to make sure that you're able to adapt and make changes to that. Brands that have never succeeded, they don't talk about it. But I want to talk about it because it's easier to talk about the ugly stuff than it's so much easier to talk about the nice, pretty stuff, Plan B, successful, so on and so forth. But nobody ever talks about or tells you that, there may be success and there will always be failure that comes with it. And failure is subjective. Some people can let failure get to them, or in my case, I would like to think that with failure, we learn from our mistakes. It's a very expensive lesson in terms of what not to do. Everybody wants to be their own boss, which is not a bad thing. But at some point, there needs to be sufficient experience and know-how before they embark, because their probability of success will be significantly higher when it's bolstered with experience. Even though I talk about how we stumbled in the F&B business, I worked part-time when I was studying in restaurants, in kitchens. When I was free, I cooked a lot at home. So that was where I summed up a little bit of my experience. You also have to start somewhere. That base needs to be somewhere. I mean, fresh law graduates come back and earn 1,500 as an intern. I think they earn less, but and then they work their way up. So where they progress comes back down to their individual. What we provide merely is an opportunity entry into the industry you choose, whether it's in the restaurant business as a waiter or as a chef and then progressing up, or as an intern in a law firm and then progressing up. Too many people graduate and come back and say, okay, I'm ready for a middle management position. It doesn't work that way because, you just do not carry sufficient experience to execute day to day. Start small, but when the right time for accelerated growth comes, you need to seize that opportunity and then let it grow. So there are two trenches, but immediately, like anything, please start somewhere, whether it's by the street, whether it's at a market fair, whatever. I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about a product, you know what I mean? And the beauty of Malaysia right now, you talk about it, is they're becoming more and more of these opportunities that allow small businesses or small creators or small scientists or whatever it may be to showcase their platform. It could be the weekend markets that you see going around. Sometimes they have them here in Publica. Sometimes they have them at Jaya One, at Pulp. There are all these little small markets that are providing that platform for you to showcase your product. The other thing is, if you really strongly believe in your product, have no fear, believe in it, and then go and ask for the opportunity. There is nothing wrong in pursuing your dream as long as you really believe in it and you know that your product stands against the test of anything else, and then you go for it. So have no fear would be the best advice I can give you, as long as you believe in that product.